What's going on, guys? It's Summer and
Juan Jeronimo.
And we are here today to talk to you about how to build momentum in your network marketing business if you have a team or even if you don't. And we're excited about today. This is something that so many people have struggled with or, wondered about. And so we're going to talk all about it.
So before we get started, actually, we'll see who's going to be connecting here. And we went just a little bit past 5 o'clock, so we'll see. Excellent. Elda, how are you? Jacqueline, Cindy, Marina, Munoz. How are you guys doing? Now, just know that it's going to be English today, okay? I know Spanish, but today is going to be in English. Hello, Lorraine, Millie, Cindy, Miller. Awesome. From Nebraska.
Nebraska awesome. In the house, right? Yeah,
and if you're just getting connected today, if you can, put what city you're connecting from, what state, what city. And something else, I've been talking a lot about this. This is the year of the entrepreneur. So if you can, write down, the city and write down, I am an entrepreneur. This is going to... See who's over here participating. So McKinney, Texas, Irma, Pascal. Let me see who else is here. Excellent. Maritza, how you doing, Maritza? Okay, Maria, Lorraine. Awesome, guys. Awesome. Hey, so today, and Danny Lichardi, guys, we have Danny Lichardi. Interesting. We go back with Danny. Phenomenal leader. He's been in the industry and, done really well. And, thanks to, it's great to have you here, brother. Let's see. Patty, Caesar, how you doing? Angelica Grant, awesome. David Murphy, how are you?
Hey, David, how are ya?
Maria Duran, awesome. Let me see. Esdras, awesome. All right, so if you can just... put down what city you're connecting, and just to see, what part of the U.S. or even outside the U.S. Sometimes we get people that connect outside the U.S. So from California, Patty, and this is a great time to share. I'm actually going to do that right now. So this is on my wife's Facebook.
We're gonna have a little share-a-thon.
So I'm gonna go to her account. So I always share with people. It's so easy to share nowadays, technology. So basically, I'm going to go here and I'm going to go into the...
And there we are.
There we are, okay. I'm going to hit share and I'm going to share this on my wall. So I just hit share. So if you hit share, just if you can write it down on the comment section that we can give you a shout out for sharing this. Sherry, how are you? Kenny, awesome. So Southern California, how's the weather there? It's SoCal, yeah. So over here in Houston, it's been cold. I don't know what's going on.
It's like all over the board, right? Yeah. Like it's hot, it's cold. I mean, you never can tell what you're going to get in Houston here.
Sarah, how are you? Sarah Soliski, phenomenal leader.
This lady's a superstar, guys. You got to watch her live stream. She's awesome.
She is. Awesome. Thanks for connecting.
Hey, Sherry. How are you? Great to see ya.
Alicia Solosarno, say, we're in Brussels watching.
Woohoo!
Awesome.
Wow, that's wild.
So, let me see. Oklahoma, Marta Vasquez. Awesome. Welcome, guys. Today, we're going to be sharing, how to build momentum. We're talking about this. How to build momentum if you're new. How to build momentum, perhaps, if you kind of... And this is for network marketers, this is for entrepreneurs. This actually works for any business, but this is specifically that we're talking to network marketers. So if you're here, perhaps you're, hey Rachel, how are you?
Hey, did you have that baby yet, girl? Great to see you.
So you haven't got back to me about the big news. I don't know what it is. So when you get a chance, send me that message, okay? You said, hey, I've heard the big news. I haven't heard yet. So let me know, okay? So, again, going back to what we were going to share. So we're going to share, if perhaps you build a team of 10, 20 people and perhaps momentum has stopped, or even if you build a team of 100 or 200 plus and you want to kind of build up momentum, we're going to share that. So if you know anybody that this information, could help them growing their business, just share with them. If somebody comes to mind, just think about it and share it with them. Either share it as a personal message or tag them here. Oh, yes, we'll do. Awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you.
And thank you, Miss Sherry, for sharing. We appreciate you, girl. We're having a share-a-thon. So if you share, drop a share in the comment section so we can definitely give you a shout out.
So awesome. And we're excited to share this with you guys. It's interesting. For those of you guys that don't know us, we are network marketing. But we came to Houston, Texas about 6 years ago. Prior to that, we were in real estate, had a real estate company, mortgage company. Yep. So some of the stuff we're going to share actually applies because we did some of this stuff in building real estate, you know.
Yep.
So we're gonna share some of that stuff. And but anyways, we came to Houston, Texas 6 years ago. We didn't know anybody. So we kind of just moved here, rented an apartment, southwest Houston. Not the best part of town, because we were starting over, because we had lost everything in real estate. You know, I don't know, and I know Daddy Lachardi can relate to this, but if you kind of were affected by the real estate market, you know, I don't know what you want to write down. I don't know if there's a little arrow going down that you can put an emoji, or you can put a little sad face if you got affected by the real estate economy back in, what was it, 2000 and...
It spanned for like a number of years.
Yeah.
7, 8, 9. I mean, it was a few years.
But anyways, Jesse, excellent. Welcome. Converse, Texas. Jay Cottle. Hey, Jay, how you doing? Well, anyways, you know this, Jay. So the real estate market, because he was there. Southwest Florida. Anyway, so... real estate market, Southwest. We'll get into our content, okay? We're gonna get into our content. But we were in Southwest Florida. Market went down, and we lost everything. So the reason this, what we're gonna share today, is so important is because this is something we did when we moved to Houston, Texas, not knowing anybody, and how we started. So some of the stuff we're gonna share today is stuff we actually did to kind of build momentum for ourselves.
Yes.
You know, then we started doing it with the team, and then we did it to the point where, you know, when you have huge momentum, we got it to the point we had 1,500 people at our convention from our team. So that's, you know, you're rocking when you're doing that, okay?
Some numbers, yeah.
So when you got, and we're talking about, you know, getting up to a convention, because you always look at the numbers of how many people go to the convention. So, hey, Jay, thanks for being here. Troy White, Rick, how you doing, Rick Gutman, Lucy, and sorry if I don't say the last names properly. I am from Mexico, so my English, I'm still learning. So awesome. Well, let's get started.
Let's talk about it. So, you know, many of you guys heard about this because we kind of been spreading the word out there that, you know, how do you build momentum? You know, here we are, we're kicking off a brand new year. It's a time when people are full of hope. They're full of passion and excitement and the possibilities for what's to come. And, you know, we believe that 2018 is the year of the entrepreneur. It's the year where you can see breakthrough. It's the year where you can see miracles taking place in your life. And, you know, it's funny because if you look in the Bible, every time there was a miracle that went down, like some of the miracles that are going to go down this year, every single time they said, according to your faith. According to your faith, according to your faith, according to your faith. So according to your faith and what you believe is possible for this year is what you can see start taking place in your life. And so, you know, momentum is one of those things that you want to crank it up, especially right as you're heading into something, right when you're getting started. And, you know, it's funny because we were talking about this. We know that there's all different kinds of people that are here with us today. We have some people that are brand new. Like if you are new to network marketing, go ahead and drop the word new down below because we want to recognize you. We want to give you a shout out.
Hey, we have Tony Solecki.
Solecki. Yeah. What's up, Tony?
Hey,
Great
Tony.
to see you.
Hey, we didn't see you at GoPro, and I think you were in Canada doing some big things in Canada.
Making moves.
Yeah, we would have loved to see you. And we saw your beautiful wife though, so
she rocked it.
Yeah. She actually treated us so well. She, you know, spent some time with us, so it was great to hang out with her. So hey, but thanks for connecting. And you know what, guys? Today we have some powerhouses connecting. Some of these guys could talk about this because about building that momentum. We're gonna share some of our story.
Yeah. And
talk about faith and talk about as my wife talks about faith. A lot of times people they're like, well, I hear this faith. What is let's talk about faith and let's talk about that mindset because a lot of people may not really understand. Well, why do they talk about faith, right?
Yep.
But really, if you have the mindset of an entrepreneur. It starts with the mindset, right? And we knew early on that we were going to be entrepreneurs for life. Absolutely. And I think it starts there because if not, at some point you're going to quit. Mm-hmm. Things are going to come at you. No matter how big you get, you could be earning, 30, 40, 50, 100,000. And some of the leaders can kind of share that. Yes, so many good nuggets. Thank you so much. So many leaders that are connected here could share with you guys that things will come up.
Yep.
At $30,000 a month, so it's not the money, okay? Because you're gonna have challenges that come up. But if you have the mentality of an entrepreneur, that's our cat, okay?
She always needs to make an appearance. We tried to shut the door. She made it on out. So this is Tatiana here back here.
Okay, she's big. She's a Mancun kitty, okay? So she wanted to be on Facebook.
She always likes to get in the action.
All right, so talk about, being that mindset. And so if you're talking about faith, have the faith to be an entrepreneur for the rest of your life. If you're going to be an entrepreneur for your rest of your life, you're going to have to overcome some things. You're going to learn some things, and you will build the momentum. The momentum will come because you're going to put the activity, but have the mindset. And if you're already in network marketing, I hope you have the mindset that you're going to be an entrepreneur for the rest of your life. I know we will.
For sure.
So
undoubtedly. I mean, I knew that at like 6 years old. I was like, lemonade stand on the corner. Let's do this, right? I was super excited. And it's interesting because, when we were kind of thinking about, what it really takes to build momentum, we know that there's a lot of different people from all walks of life that they're going to be watching this. And if you're watching live, definitely drop a hashtag live with us. If you're watching on the replay, drop the word replay. But so there's kind of 3 different categories, right? People that are brand new, that maybe you're just getting started, and this is your first rodeo. Like everything is like sparkly and new. You've never done any of this before, and it's like so exciting. And we're gonna talk to you. We're gonna talk about what you do. And then we have people that have been in the business a little while. Like you might have built some momentum. You might be built a team of 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 15, 20 people, and then the holidays came, or things came up, and now you're feeling like you have to get them going, or you have to rebuild, or maybe you're even feeling like you have to start from scratch. I mean, we've had times where we saw them and we had to get going. So we're going to talk about that person, and then we're also going to talk to the person who they're in the hunt, they got their team with them, they're getting after it, and they're just ready to crank it up to go to that next level. So new person? You want to start with the new person?
Talk about new person. And I'm sharing this when we got started with the current company. This is about 5.5 years ago. So I'm going to paint a picture for you guys. So we're living in an apartment, not the best part of town. Because when you lose everything, 38 cents to your bank account, I think we had to borrow some money from mother-in-law to move over to Houston. So basically, picture this. We're living in an apartment, and we had to start. And, what we did is, I remember we first came to Houston, Texas, we actually went networking on purpose because we knew, and professionals know this, that you have to expand. You always have to be, increasing your list or adding to your list. So we knew this early on. So when we came to Houston, we actually started prospecting on purpose. What's interesting is we didn't even get started with the company for the first 1.5 years that we were living in Houston. We were kind of just looking. We were kind of getting established here, but we were actually making contacts. And so once we had contacts, once we were here and we were kind of open, a lot of people shared us a lot of different stuff. But once we got started with our company, I'll tell you, and I was sharing this, we were talking about this, is that you want to go through your list. You want to start letting people know what you're doing. And really what building momentum is doing a whole lot in a short period of time.
Yep.
So I remember my first month, and we still had our traditional business, but basically I would, get up, get ready, go do our credit card processing. And once I was finished, I would go and do presentations. And those first 60 days, this is in November and December, where a lot of people think that it's slow during those times. I was super busy because I was going through everybody in my list. Yep. Yesterday I did a training for a group of people, and I asked a question. I said, after 5 months, some people have been there for 5 months, 6 months, and I said, who still has people you haven't talked to in your list? And it's amazing because over half the room raised their hand, which means they haven't gone through and talked to everybody in their list. Yep. So, you want to build momentum. First of all, you got to have your list, but you got to go through your list. And what I did is, I remember sitting down with people for 20 minutes. So it wasn't about sitting with people for 3 hours.
No.
I said, how can I let my friends know what I'm doing? And how can I let everybody know as fast as possible. And what it did actually is kind of interesting, going back to the time. What it did is, I remember I would have presentation after presentation after presentation after presentation, and I could only give them 20 to 25 minutes.
Yep.
And that momentum of talking to so many people, you know, in a short period of time, it actually almost made it seem like they were going to miss out.
Yep.
Because I would get there, I'd be like, hey, I'm excited to share this with you, you know, and I would go through my presentation and say, listen, I got to go. I have somebody else. And my phone would be ringing because I had another appointment. And guess what happened, guys? I had to be, you know, when you have that, you know, that fire, you know, when you have that posture that you have so many people go through. And so when you start building momentum, actually your posture will increase.
Yep.
If you have a lot more people to talk to, you know, it's not really, and I heard this from a training at Cash Cow, it's about collecting the decisions. That's all you're doing. I think a lot of people think it's about closing. And you know, if you're getting any value out of this, just kind of, you know, write, you know, just
drop
say,
an emoji
drop an emoji.
show some love, show some hearts, right?
So it's not about it's not about, you know, when you have posture and you're putting a lot of momentum, it's not really about how good of a closer you are. It's not good about how good of a presenter you are. It's really that you're so excited about it. You know, obviously learn how to do your presentation. If you're getting started, have somebody come with you. But as soon as possible, learn how to present. You know, back then we didn't have any kind of presentation. It was about drawing the circles. It was about drawing the little circles on a piece of paper.
We'd have stacks of white papers. We
would go with stacks of white paper and then be like, and a sign-up form. And I remember, and this is, you know, again, we're going back to when we got started. So when I got started, I remember in faith, okay, I knew I was going to do this big. So I went and made a copy, black and white copy. I think it was $20. But I made 1,000 copies of applications. So think about this. You know, my mindset is I'm going big with this. I'm like, I went 1,000 copies. I think it was $20 because remember, we didn't have a lot of money then. So I made 1,000 copies. And you know what? I said, I'm going to go and share this with as many people. And those people that got started, anybody that got started, I would give them 6 applications. So if they didn't get started, at least I would give them an application, you know, because not everybody got started.
Yep.
But I went and I talked to everybody in my list, okay? So.
Absolutely. Guys, you know, one of the things that you got to remember is that what makes network marketing magical is the duplication. And in the beginning, it's just you, or it may be the two of you, right? Like in the beginning, your number one goal, rule number one is get another person. That's just the first thing you want to do. And how do you get another person? It's just the basics. The basics are what the basics are. They're no different than driving a car or riding your bike, or, you know, it's like once you got it going on, once you know how this thing works, anytime you need to crank it up, you know what to do. You don't forget. You don't like, oh, maybe it's not going to work. No, it works the same way every time. So the basics are, you got to get your list together. You got to see who you know. That's like your network is your net worth, right? Like the more people you know, the more people that you can introduce it to, and the more you can make in our profession. And so your goal is you want to share a little with a lot. You know, one hit the nail on the head when he said, you're not going to go talk and have these 3-hour presentations, because your prospects, your friends are going to look at you and they're going to be like, that's nice. I like your product. I like what you're doing, but I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
I don't want to do that, right? And so the thing that's really important is that you're moving. You're on the go. You're not like, you know, especially, you know, most people when they start this, it's part-time. Even today, we have 4 businesses that we're running, so it's still part-time for us, right? And when you're cooking, when you're moving, when you're grooving, people are like, they feel that you're on the roll. They feel that you're going to go someplace with or without them, and they're drawn to that. They like don't want to miss out. I mean, because of, you know, hey, we're going to go get 1,000 applications, and we're going to go through that list, and we're going to contact people. There was like 70 some odd people that joined as business partners month 1. And then month 2, of course, you know, it grew to over 200 some odd people joined the second month, and then, you know, I didn't.
So first, the numbers were 61 people joined the first month, and then out of that, and it's interesting because out of that, I sponsored 8, and I showed it personally to about 70 of my friends. So not everybody that I showed to got started, but those 8 people turned into 5,000 the first year. Now, going back into, building, this works, building momentum. This works not just if you're doing your one-on-ones or your home parties. This works if you're connecting people to the Zoom presentations. Yep. This works if you're doing Facebook Lives. If your organization, they teach you to do Facebook Lives, whatever they teach you to do, because we have different people that connect from different organizations. Whatever they teach you to do, you got to look at it. If they tell you, hey, you do 2 presentations a day, you want to build momentum, in your mind, say, hey, you know what? I'm going to do 4. Yep. I'm going to do more. Nobody told me. I didn't really have an upline. I didn't have anybody said, oh, Juan, if you do just 2 a day. I just said, it's my first 60 days. I gotta just go for it. There was no limit. And you'll have those times. And Eric Worre talks about this, your first 90 days. But in that time, you want to build momentum. Really, you just want to, there was no such things as Saturdays.
No. Saturdays existed, and on those days, we did more presentations.
This is funny, but I started November 12th. And in November, I remember November 25th, at Christmas, obviously. And I remember, calling my friend, and we're like, what are you doing? And it's like, we had been doing so many parties that I said, what are you doing? Because we've been doing so many parties, like, I'm watching a movie. It felt so strange that we were actually doing something other than presentations, that I'm like, okay. And then that was Christmas Day. Guess what we did the next day? We went at it again. And that's why the first month, 61 people. The second month, 261 people. I think the third month was like 500 people, and it just kept growing and growing. But again, how do you build momentum? You do a lot, and it doesn't have to be the one-on-ones. With technology today, it could be Zoom parties. It could be, if you have the Facebook groups and you guys work that way, add them to the Facebook groups. But you gotta do a lot in a short period of time. Absolutely. So that's for somebody new.
Yeah, and one little final sidebar on that is a lot of times people think that they make their list and they kind of get like almost tunnel vision about a handful of people on the list. Like, let's say they have a list of 10 and they're like, but these 5 are going to do it. I'm like, number 1, we need more than 10 people on the list, okay? That's rule number 1. Like, just slam them all on there, and then you can cherry pick who are your top people that you want to connect with. And then the thing that's really important is that this is about sorting. Okay, you're not gonna beg or convince you're not gonna have this long drawn out conversation with anybody about anything. Like, you're moving, you're on the go, like, you have people to talk to. If you had a list of 100 people, you're not really worried about if they say yes or no. It's just like, are you in or you out? Whatever the case may be, I'm moving ahead, so do you wanna come? You know what I mean? And so it's kind of important to remember that you don't have to worry about their opinion. If they get it, thumbs up. If they don't, thumbs up. It's okay. Either way, it's okay. And you got to be good with that, because sometimes you're going to find that there's different seasons for people in their life. And sometimes it's a now season, and sometimes they may come on later. Like, we have a lot of people that have come on later, right?
And don't worry, just know this. Even as when we got started, we had some experience with network marketing. Some people are just not going to return your call. Just know that. And you know what? It's okay. It's interesting because a lot of the people we ended up building with are people that had never been in network marketing, but we wanted it so bad that we were willing to put in the time in the beginning to kind of build that momentum. So if you have that mindset, and I hope this is resonating with somebody in 2018, because for us, after living a year and a half in an apartment, I couldn't take my wife to go. I share this story all the time, but I couldn't take her to dinner. If I did, it would be, the menus where the $7.99 was on the right-hand side. I would have her pick there. And in that time, we would also go, hey, things have changed now, okay? But in that time, I remember we would go to Galveston. To the ferry. You know what I would do is I would take her. That was the cruise. I would take her to the ferry. It was free. We would, with all the cars, smog and everything. Very romantic, right? But you'd see dolphins every time. Yeah, okay? we would see dolphins. So imagine being in the ferry. I don't know how many cars in the ferry. And we were, and that was like us, like we knew we were going to do something. So guys, I hope somebody on this Facebook Live is kind of tired of having the same results. Hopefully, maybe you're tired of your, where you work. Maybe you're tired of the people that you work with. Don't tell them. But maybe you're tired of perhaps you don't want to have a 2017 or a 16 or a 15. You want to have a different year. Well, we're in January, guys. Use this information so you can go out, build momentum, and make it big. 2018, the year of miracles. 2018, year of the entrepreneur. So you can do something big in 2018. So that's if you're new. So let's talk about, perhaps if somebody kind of already has, a small team or maybe 100 people.
Or let's say you're not new, but you built a team and we don't know where they're at. They're on vacation. They're not building. They're not actively in the game with you at this point. Maybe you've been in for 6 months or a year or 2 years and you feel like you talked to some people on your list. Like what now? What now?
And you gotta, and maybe we'll get some participation, but who here in this Facebook Live could really say 100% that they've talked to everybody on their list? Okay, say, hey, I have talked to everybody on my list. Now, if you haven't, if you're care to share, also say, because if you kind of share this, you're going to know, and you're going to be like, you know what? I need to just face it. I haven't talked to everybody on my list. If you haven't talked to everybody on your list, also put, I haven't talked to everybody on my list. That way you know. Let's see if we can get some participation here. So if you talk to everybody on your list, put, I've talked to everybody on my list. Okay, then we can talk about, do a Facebook Live about ideas on how to get more people on your list. But if you haven't put, I haven't talked to everybody on my list. So hopefully we'll start getting some participation here. And but basically, why is that important? Because if you haven't talked to everybody in your list, let's see, I haven't talked to them all. There you go. See, Karen, thank you for sharing. It starts there. You have to face the facts, right? In that book, Good to Great, talks about I haven't talked to everybody on my list. Okay, Sandy hasn't talked to everybody on their list. So, and this is big because if you guys can get the book, Good to Great, Phil Collins, great book. And it talks about how you have to face the brutal facts. And you know what? If you haven't talked to everybody on your list, you need to face the fact and say, you know what? I haven't talked to people on my list. Yep. Guys, you can build momentum by reaching out to them. How you doing, Brian? How you doing? So we have some people here that haven't talked to everybody.
And I applaud you guys for your honesty, because it takes a big man or woman to step up and say, you know what? I really haven't. Or maybe you're out there and you're always adding to your list. And if that's you, 2 thumbs up, because that's exactly what you want to do. And that's a skill set that you're going to need to have if you have the vision, if you have the dream, if you have the ambition to be an entrepreneur the rest of your life, to be in network marketing. Like if you came to play, if you came to win, that's the mindset you have to have, is that you always, you haven't talked to everybody just yet, but you're adding to your list all the time.
And something just came to mind too. All these things come to mind sometimes. So, if you have the mindset you're going to be entrepreneur for the rest of your life, if you're network marketing, guys, we really don't do a whole lot. Here's what I mean. We gather customers, we find other representatives, and we teach them to do the same. All right? I remember when I used to grind metal. That used to be more complicated than actually gathering customers and teaching other people to do the same. That's really what you're doing in network marketing. You're building a team. Yes, you're gonna learn leadership principles. You're gonna, learn how to promote. There's different areas you're gonna learn, but really that's what you're doing. So, and if you know that, if you know you're gonna be an entrepreneur for the rest of your life, if you know you have to go gather customers, get more representatives, and you haven't done that, the best way to build momentum too is go recruit some new people.
Yep.
Yourself, because I heard this from John Addison. He said, "Don't throw alarm clocks at cemeteries." Meaning that you're not gonna wake up those people that haven't done a whole lot. If you want to have a team meeting, ask them, "Hey, have you gone through your list?" And maybe help them kind of regroup, get them in that mindset. But don't think, "Okay, I had this meeting; they're gonna do something." You have the meeting, but you go recruit some new people. If you're doing it through Facebook Live, And that's what they're teaching you. If it's through Facebook Live, if it's through groups, if it's through Zoom, whatever that you're doing, talk to the person you're working with and say, what is it that I got to do to increase the number of customers or representatives? And if your upline tells you, hey, you need to start doing 4 Zooms, then you have to follow that.
Yep.
Then you have to go do it.
Definitely. So let's talk about this. What do we do exactly? You've been in the business for any length of time. You maybe had some success, or maybe you haven't had some success just yet, but we're at the point where it's me, myself, and I. Like, you're the cat's meow. You are it in your business that's going to make it go. So the same thing that we talked about for the new person is going to apply to you. Number 1 goal, duplicate yourself. Number 1 goal. So how are we going to do that? Well, the laws of gravity work the same every time. So number 1, we got to make the list, right? Like, it worked before, it's going to work again. Number 1, we got to make our list. Now, there's a couple of things. 1, sometimes people might feel like, but I talked to some people on my list. I talked to all the really good people and they didn't join, right? Have you felt like that? If you've ever felt like that before, share the love. Let me know. Let me know what your thoughts are, because I think that happens to so many people is they feel like they have this ace in the hole and they talk to them and it didn't go as planned. So number 1, we're going to remake that list. Number 2, you have some people that maybe you talked to 3 months ago, 6 months ago, a year ago, 2 years ago. Like, do you think they even remember what you're doing? Not likely, right? Unless you're always in front of them, it's not very likely. So you want to circle back around with those people. And when you come, you're not going to come hit them over the head with your product. No, you're going to start by saying, hey, how are you? What's going on? How's everything in your world? Like, just reconnect, right? And then when you feel that things are good in that conversation, then just say, hey, listen, you know what? I am so excited about what's going on. This year, there's going to be crazy things go down. And I know maybe we talked a little bit before in the past, but I really like to sit down with you, and share with you what we have going on. What's your schedule look like? And just get in front of them. Just share what it is that you have with those people. And you can ask for their opinion, or you can say, find the need in their life. Like, hey, I know you said that, you're trying to pay off your house, or, you're trying to send your kid to college, or whatever their goal is. I think I found something that might help. Would you, want to hear more about it if it would? And then get together with them. And like Juan was saying, you could be doing one-on-ones, you could be doing home parties, you could be doing Zooms. It doesn't matter how. The how is kind of like, it just doesn't really matter that much. It just matters that you get in front of them, because it's by getting in front of them and putting a lot of numbers together that you start seeing those results, that you start seeing this cascade of momentum start taking place in your business.
And really, it's about you got to keep on doing it, because what you'll find is that professionals, and it's interesting because, when we went to GoPro, and, Sarah, Solisky was there. I don't know if I'm saying it right. But you wonder, like, well, they're already very successful. Why are they keep going to learn some more? It's kind of interesting because why are they paying for the VIP tickets if they're already so successful, right?
Yeah.
Well, what you'll find is successful people are always learning more.
Yeah.
So perhaps you've learned some things, you've gone to some conventions, and you've got some trainings. And let me tell you, if you don't have in your calendar some trainings outside of your conventions,
outside of your company,
outside of your company's conventions, you really got to ask yourself how serious you are about your business.
Yeah.
We go to events that are outside of our company convention. Now, you obviously talk to your upline, but we really promote. There's other great events where you can learn, you can grow, and really, because if you started and maybe you haven't contacted some of the people when you started about 5 years ago, you've learned some things. Hopefully you've got new skills that you can go back to them, and maybe that's what's gonna help them make that decision.
Yeah.
You've increased yourself up as your value, if you will, and maybe you're gonna attract them to join you in your business.
Definitely. And so number 1 is we got to go back and remake that list. We got to contact the people. Like, I'm so proud of all of you guys who admitted, like, hey, there's still people there I haven't connected with. Time to go connect, right? And maybe we also want to continue to expand our list. So, one of the things that Juan said is we made an active effort to get out there and get to whatever the events are that were going on in our area. What's up, Aaron? Great to see you. Hey, Alfredo, how are you guys? Where are you coming in from? So, when we first got going, we really made an active effort to really focus on getting out and meeting new people. Because literally, when we moved to Houston, we didn't know anybody. Like, not figuratively, like literally, we didn't know anybody, right? And so like we had to meet people. If we were gonna be in a people business, if we were gonna be in a network marketing business, we had to meet some people. And so we would do a Google search and see like, hey, is there business networking events? There might be a Latin chamber. There might be, different women's events. There's lots of different things that go on. Get out and meet some new people. Join a class, see who you can meet at church. Like there's so many people all around us that it's really about having your antenna up, because as a professional, like if you plan to do this for the duration, like this is it. This is, plan B, and it's the only thing we're going to focus on, and it's what's going to retire you, and it's going to be what you do that you will to your kids, and like it's really important to you, then commit to your craft. Commit to the things that are going to make you excellent. They're going to make you world class. And one of the things that's just like you have to, it's foundational, is always be growing your list. You always are expanding and adding new people to that list, and that way you always have people to talk to.
That's right. And something that's going to help is, having what they call a daily method of operation. Mm-hmm. If you have something you do, because when you're an entrepreneur, sometimes you don't have somebody telling you, hey, this is what you need to do. That's why you need to develop your own daily say it again. Daily method of operation. Yeah. Sorry. Sometimes I think in Spanish, all right? So that's why, sometimes I think in Spanish. So daily method of operation. So every day, you have to know what you're doing, okay? If it's, you got to talk to 2 people a day in person, it may be it. If it's message, 2, 3, 4, 5 people a day on Facebook.
Yeah.
The other thing is you can also join groups. There's a lot of, there's a lot of groups, entrepreneurial groups on Facebook that you can join. You can start friending. And this is not about sending your link to 5 people a day. No. This is not pitching 5 people a day saying, hey, are you open? This is building a relationship where you connect with them and say, hey, let them know who you are. Let them know where you live. Let them know, not the address, what city you live. Say hi. But, start connecting with people, because what you find out is if you talk to 5 people a day, if you connect with 5 people a day on Facebook, just kind of reach out to them. Hey, how you doing? And start building that relationship. What you find out is if you talk to 5 people every day, not everyone's going to answer that day. Some people may not check their Facebook. You might not get a response back for 2 or 3, 4 days. But what you find out, eventually will start adding up.
Yep. And
then you'll have a lot of people to talk to. And some of those people will ask you what you're doing, or you get to that conversation where like, hey, then you finally can ask, hey, are you open? But you have to have something you do daily so that you can move your business forward.
Absolutely. And we're going to talk about something that will help you with that. We took some things and, kind of wrote down what we did daily. How do you get up and going? How do you, connect and use social media? How do you get out there and build a team? And we'll talk to you a little bit more about that as we wrap things up here, but we have a treat for you. So stay tuned. So the last group of people is the people that have a team. Maybe, if you got one, you got a team. Okay? If it's you and 2, you have a team. But maybe you have 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 15, 20, 100, a couple hundred. I remember when we hit 500 people in the team, we're like, party! Like, we got so excited. And you know what? If you have a team of people, your business, it can grow exponentially. Like, we had no stinking idea how fast things could really move and groove when you have momentum and you have a team. Because in the beginning, imagine it's you, right? And you're in there and you got this rowboat and you're rowing and you're rowing and you're rowing. But before you know it, when you have a whole group of people doing it, the pace at which you get things done, the speed at which your team grows and your check grows, might I add, right? It starts to take off exponential, which is the whole reason we're in this amazing business.
So, and something you can do with your team too is that you can do something where if you get together with them, mm-hmm. and then, they may not know that they need something that they can do daily.
Yeah.
And that's something maybe you guys can kind of get behind. Say, hey, this week, let's commit to if you have a weekly party. maybe have them commit to bring some guests, or maybe have them commit to do so many parties in a week. If you do a lot of Zoom meetings, maybe commit with your team. Say, hey, let's commit to talk to this many people so we can get this many people to a Zoom meeting. Or perhaps if you're using the chats where you're adding people to the chats, maybe you can, put together a plan with your team and say, hey, this is what we're going to do. Whatever it is that you're doing, have something. Because remember, in the beginning, you're the leader.
Yeah.
So in the beginning, you have to let them know what they're doing. Not everyone's going to come here and they're going to be like, oh, I know what to do. Not everyone's going to come and say, hey, I'm going to build my list. Most of the people don't build their list. Mm-hmm. Most of the people don't talk to everybody on their list. Most of the people don't know how important it is to go to a convention or to go get more training. Yeah. So you have to guide them in the beginning. Eventually, those people will come that would kind of take it away from you. They're going to be the ones that say, hey, I want to do what you're doing. I want to get together with my team. I'm going to put something that we're going to do. Maybe, and I heard this from a training once. They said like, hey, maybe they're going to have a week where they're going to go talk to, waiters or teachers or construction workers, whatever that may be. Or maybe as a team, if you're doing something on Facebook, maybe you're going to be like, hey, this week we're going to talk to this many people on Facebook. We're going to send this many messages on chat, and we're going to go group together, share numbers. And what that's going to do is, as you guys come together, it's gonna build momentum because you guys are doing it together. Mm-hmm. So in the beginning, when you're launching, you gotta build your momentum by doing a lot of activity. Once you have a group of people, then kind of collectively have something. Hopefully, you guys have a chat together. Maybe a team group page if you're not utilizing that, whatever that may be. If you're still, or maybe you're doing the conference call with your team, if you're still doing that, okay? Then whatever that may be, but get behind something that you guys can do together, and then have everybody do a little in a short amount of time. So don't say, hey, we're going to do this year, we're going to talk to this many people. Say, hey, this week, we're all going to commit to talking to 5 new people. Mm-hmm. That's going to create momentum, because out of that, you're going to have new customers, new representatives.
That's right. And shout out to Miss Angela Brooks, superstar here, joining us in from someplace up there in the north, someplace cold. I don't remember where, but hey, Angela, so great to see you. And, exactly what Juan was saying is that the idea is step number one is, let's corral the troops, okay? So wherever your team is at, if they're local, we like to meet with our team. Like the people that we have that are local, we get together, because there's nothing like, loving on someone, giving them a hug, sitting there and looking in each other's eyes, okay? So if you're local, get together. If you're not local and you're using Zoom or you're using conference calls or you're using something where, it's virtual, totally fine too. But number one, corral the troops. You have to see who your runners are. You have to see who's in it to win it. And you, as the leader of that team, it's your job, it's your mission, it's your, what you need to do is inspire them into action. And what Juan was talking about is you have a vision for the week or for the month where you cast the vision and you get everybody to buy into it. Like we talked about, having this daily method of operation. Hey guys, each and every day, let's get out there and message 5 new people on Facebook, and we're gonna personally reach out to two of our friends on the phone, or 2 of our friends on text message, or whatever it is. You as the leader, come up with something that resonates with your team, right? That is like along the same lines of what your company's been talking about, what everybody's in the groove of, and you just kind of like say, hey, can we do this together? We're gonna run a marathon this week together. Are you in? Right? Are you in? Like, get buy-in from everyone. And that's how you start creating momentum, is that what we talked about, everybody reaching out to their list, everybody, constantly growing that list, everybody connecting with different people and doing, sharing a little with a lot of people in a short period of time. When it's you, that's what you do. But when it's you in a team, you inspire all the other people on your team to do the exact same thing. And that's how you build momentum.
Awesome. So hopefully you guys got some value out of this.
Guys, it's been so great to see you. And as I mentioned a little bit ago, there's something that I put together that, a lot of people ask, well, how did you build a team of 50,000 distributors? Like, how is that possible? What did you do? Because really at the end of the day, it comes down to, what are you doing every single day to grow your business? If this is truly a business, not a hobby, but truly a business, then we have to do something every single day to push it forward. And so if you're the type of person that you're like, I am all in, it is my year, it's the year of the entrepreneur, let's do this thing, then we want to help you. We got something a little special for you, and it's called the DMO worksheet, Daily Method of Operation, the things that we did each and every day to build the business. If you like to know what it is and you can use it, download it, print it off. You can use it if you have a team, or you can use it if it's just you getting started or relaunching your business. So we're gonna drop a link here in the description. What you'll do is go ahead and click on the link, and then it will take you to a spot where you put in your email, and then by doing that, you'll get sent the downloadable PDF so that you can print it off and you can use it in your team, you can use it in your house each and every day, looking at it and checking off the list.
And something real quick, as you get that link, if you guys have something that you guys want us to share on the Facebook Lives, if you have a question on how to build with a Latino community, it is different when you build with Latino community, because a lot of it is offline. Yeah. So we're doing a lot of online, but there's a lot of stuff online. We utilize the chat groups. We do utilize a group page. So there's a lot of stuff we can cover. Yeah. If you want to learn more about that, just send us a private message. Send my wife a private message.
Follow him on Facebook if you need Latin training, because most of what he does is in Spanish. You can go to his page, hit the follow button, and he does amazing training. So
I'm gonna do a lot more training at closing. I did a training on basically your prospect, growing your prospect list. But we're also gonna do a lot of trainings together. Yeah. Okay. Maybe we'll do one on how to get along husband and wife. I know there's some people that can do that here too, but we're gonna do some more Facebook Lives together. So, but if there's an area, if there's something you guys want us to share, maybe you want to hear, just send us a message, and we're gonna see if we can cover it on Facebook Live. Yeah,
in the next one. So if this added some value to you, definitely drop a comment below. You could hit the follow button. That way the next time we're going to jump on live, and we can have a party. We can all hang out.
Awesome, guys. And thank you, guys. Thank you, Monica, Kenny, Patty, Rafael.
She's working on the chicken list. Yes, yeah, you go, girl. Do your thing. And so one final little thing. Okay, so let me tell you. Okay, I know we're done, but I'm coming back at you one more time. So one final little thing. What really helped me, like when we're dialing down and we're like, okay, we have a goal we're hitting, we're going for it, is you make that your only focus. Like block off some time where you have like an hour or 2 hours, but block it off. What I did, I would go in my room, I would shut the door, like, hey, I'm not doing nothing else. I'm only doing this one task. Sit on my bed, and I had business cards, and I would go through my phone, and I would make my list, and literally my entire bed would be covered with contacts. I got my laptop open, I'm messaging, I got like all these Facebook conversations. Like, I just created the most fabulous, massive chaos in like a 60-minute period that it gave me a bunch of appointments for the week. It gave me people to talk to. It gave me people to see. It gave me people that were out of state that were watching it, my video overview. So it doesn't need to take all day. Just do what you gotta do. Squish it in a short period of time.
Go create chaos.
Go create some chaos. I mean, just create some beautiful chaos, and you'll start getting amazing rewards in your business.
Beautiful things come out of chaos. So
it does.
Sometimes you guys just gotta go create chaos.
Create some chaos. So.
Awesome, guys. Thank you guys so much. Thank you. Let me see. Oh, I don't know what I did. There we go. Okay. Thank you.
You never can tell.
Yeah. So, yeah, thank you, whoever said, thank you for the awesome advice. Awesome. Thank you, Kenny, making yourself duplicatable. Awesome. All right, guys. Love you guys.
Take care. Be blessed. Until next time, go out there, live life to the full, conquer your fears, and go get everything God has in store for you. Take care and be blessed.
Blessed.